Hi guys, very good evening to you. In this video 183, we are going to talk about today one of the best feature in Excel we have, which is to connect the Excel application with the PowerPoint application. So I'm going to talk about this PowerPoint, how to connect, how to export the chart from Excel to the PowerPoint, and I know that this is going to be very useful for all of you. Before I actually go and start this series, so yes, we are going to start the series on this. I'm going to upload a lot of videos on this step by step. So this is the first attempt, this is the first video, and this I'm doing it because I received an email day before yesterday from one of my subscribers, and actually she has written this email. I'm reading it out for you, and I really want to thank you, Anna, if you're watching this video. I got your email, I saw your email, and definitely I'm not going to disappoint you. So this is what she has to say. Hi Ajay, I'm a big lover of your YouTube channel and I never skip your any new video. It's so nice to find you on YouTube. Thank you so much indeed. It's a great compliment. You're the best and couldn't thank you enough for your wonderful work. Again, thank you so much. I'm really very humbled, to have such big words from you. I appreciate your work everywhere and tell my friends to go and watch your videos. I'm writing you today in a hope to see some PowerPoint related videos. How to work with PowerPoint from Excel. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Your subscribers, Anna. Thank you so much, Anna. Definitely I'm going to start the series, and I'm going to I'm going to start this from the very scratch, and so that all of my subscribers and all of those people who are watching this channel, who are coming to this video for the first time, I just want to tell them that this is the playlist. You can go and this is where you will see these PowerPoint videos, right? So this is our video number first, though it is a video number 183. You can watch all those 182 videos on my channel. You can use that playlist and you can find, there are on every topic. I mean, almost I have recorded the videos just to ensure that you should be able to understand the Excel and you should be able to utilize it. So in this video now, as Anna wanted it, and also I because this is also one of my favorite subject, where you connect Excel with the another applications like Outlook, MS Word, or maybe MS PowerPoint. So let us start this series, how to connect Excel with the PowerPoint. And today we are going to start with the very basic thing, which is that I have already actually prepared this raw data. You can see here, and there is a chart here. So today we want to learn that how we can export this chart in the PowerPoint automatically. You don't have to paste it, right? So PowerPoint is a very it's a very much in use, because if you're working in the analytics field, if you're a part of any MIS or any you work with any database, then most of the time PowerPoint application we require it to give the presentations. And when you give the presentations, obviously you work with the charts, you work with the tables, and a lot of comments, you do a lot of things. So now the point is, of course, in this video I'm not going to tell you about that how to export 50 slides. We will do this step by step, but today definitely what we are going to learn is that how to export this chart automatically in the PowerPoint, how to get the PowerPoint open from the Excel using the VBA, and how you can create the button with just one button press. You can actually export this, you can paste this chart in that PowerPoint, so there will be no manual work, right? So let's go to the developer tab and let's hit on the Visual Basic. Let's insert the module, and in the module now let me write the macro. So I'm going to name it as export let's say chart PowerPoint. Okay, so now what we want to do actually is, I want to tell you a couple of things. There are a lot of actually object hierarchies. There are a lot of objects, the classes which you are going to use when you connect one application with the another application, especially when you connect Excel with the outside world. Now, like you connect Excel with the Outlook, you connect Excel with the PowerPoint, or maybe with the any other Microsoft application like MS Access database or MS Word, you know. So they all have their own object hierarchies. They have their own classes, right? Like Outlook has its own classes. If you go ahead, if you have watched my Outlook videos, you know, on the playlist where I have recorded a lot of videos, let me just show you in case if you are new to the channel. Yeah, connecting Outlook from Excel. So we have 8 videos here. So if you go ahead and watch them, you know, you'll understand that Outlook is entirely a different thing, because Outlook has its own VBA, right? So they have their own object hierarchy system. Similarly, there's just one video I have uploaded so far on the MS Access, but I promise I'll upload some more very soon. But right now, let's just focus on the PowerPoint. So in the PowerPoint now, what we are going to do is I'm going to actually deal with the couple of the classes, you know, objects. Like first of all, the PowerPoint itself, we need to create the PowerPoint object, okay, and then we are going to deal with the presentation part. You know, if you know the PowerPoint, then you must be knowing that presentation is definitely when you it's basically a platform where you put the slides, where you insert the slides, right? So we're going to talk about the slides also, right? So there are a lot of things in actually PowerPoint. So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 objects. What is the PowerPoint, and then the PowerPoint, what is the presentation, and then slides. In the presentation, you know, what is the slide. So the first thing which you need to do is we are going to write this program using the early binding method, where you have to use the reference. Okay, so I'm going to go in the tools section, and there you need to activate this library, which is already activated here because I use it a lot. Microsoft PowerPoint 14.0 library, right? Now I'm using a Excel 2010, so that's why you see this number as 14.0. But if you have a Excel 2007, then you would see there 12.0. right? And if you have Excel 2013, then you would see here 15.0. So depending upon the version, you would have your number, but that really doesn't matter actually. You know, what matters is that you have to on this, right? So by default, it is never here. What you need to do is you need to press M. It takes you to all the libraries which starts with the M. Then just, you know, scroll it down and find out where you have this Microsoft PowerPoint written, right? It's alphabetically sorted, so you shouldn't, I mean, face any challenge in that, right? So you can see here that it's there, Microsoft project publisher. So you would see that Microsoft PowerPoint library, you know, somewhere here, because I have already activated it. So by default, you know, it's showing actually on the top. So when you're going to check mark it from, you know, the below part where you actually are going to see this library, it will automatically jumps to the upper portion, and it would come somewhere next to this Microsoft Office 14.0 object library, right? Again, 14 is just a number. It depends upon the version to version. So you need to on this. That's the first thing you need to do, right? So now let us start the code. So first of all, I'm going to activate the Microsoft this PowerPoint application in front of you. I'm going to make it visible, right? So this is what you need to do. So I'm going to write here dim ppt as PowerPoint dot application set ppt equals to, so we are actually setting up the object, okay? And now what you need to do is you need to make it visible equals to true. You can write true, or maybe you can use this MS true as well, right? Now when I'm going to run this program, you would see that the PowerPoint application is going to be activated. I can show you. Let me just run this using the F8 command. Look at this now, right? You can see on my this screen there is no PowerPoint I have opened. The video is this VBA is going to open that. So let's make it visible. Look at this. The code is finished, and if I show you, this is the PowerPoint application. You can see the title. So this application is created now. Now what is the next thing? Obviously we would like to go ahead, add the, you know, the presentation part, and then we will further go ahead and add the slides where we are going to copy the chart, right? So that's it. Now let's come back to the code. What is the next thing I want to do here is once you have created this PPT, the next point is we are going to define ppress as PowerPoint. That's just an object I'm creating. You can write whatever you want. So we're going to define it as a PowerPoint presentation object. Set ppress equals to, now we are going to add this. So I'm going to add this presentation dot add. Now what will happen, this will add the presentation, this will add the layout in this PowerPoint application, right? The next thing which you want is of course you want to actually add the slide, you know, there. So this is how I'm going to write p slide as PowerPoint dot slide, and now the next thing is p slide equals to, so I'm using the set word. I have, if as I said that, you know, if you are familiar with my channel, then and you would have watched all those Outlook videos where I have connected the Excel with the Outlook, because they are the videos where I have got the maximum clicks and people really loved, people really, you know, send me a lot of emails on that they are really finding these videos very helpful. They can use their in office work. So I'm sure you know that why we actually are using the set word, because we are dealing here with the objects. When you deal with the objects, you got to use the set word, right? It is not a kind of an integer or you know, string or double single variable, right? It can't simply, you can't write like dim I as integer and then I equals to 2, right? Here it's an object, so that's why you use the set word. If you will not use, then you will get the error, set word not defined, you know, sort of that. So now we want to add the slide, and this is how you add the slide. So as I was telling you, that first the PowerPoint object comes. When the PowerPoint gets created, then you get to add the presentation on that. When the presentation gets added on that layout, you can add the slides. So this is how the object hierarchy follows, right? So once we have made this presentation added, then we are going to add the slide into it. So this is how we are going to add slides dot add, right? Now you don't have to use this add slide, just started with the simple add. This add is, when you write the dot, it's not there, right? There's no add, but you have to write it like this, right? So just write here, and now how many slides you want to add. Obviously, basically this is not to add how many slides, but this is going to add the first slide. So if you write here 2, it will not add the 2, because to get the second slide created, first you need to have the first slide, right? So I'm going to write here 1 and then comma. Now I'm going to keep the layout as blank, right? You can use whatever you want to use, but this time we are going to use the blank layout. That's it. Now let me show you exactly, because I know you would be if I won't show you right away, then you may get confused, and this is something which I do not want. So let's have a look in this. Now again, there is no PowerPoint. You can see here it's only the Excel. I'm running this now. The code, you know, ran, and PowerPoint application executable file is activated in the background, and if you want to see it, this is the code which I have written, that PowerPoint.visible equals true. Now you can see in the background this PowerPoint is activated, right? So now the next thing is the presentation will be added. So I'm going to execute this line, and you can see here that you have now a very clear image of this layout. This is how, you know, when you open the PowerPoint, generally this is what you see exactly. You know, you have the notes here, you can add the slides here, right? So this is called the presentation part, and you can see that in the top title bar also it says presentation 1, right? Well, that's just the name, but still, I mean, the presentation means that the entire layout is ready. Now what is the next thing? Now the next thing is to add the slide, because where you are going to paste all the charts or the ranges. In this case, obviously we are talking about the you know, charts. So to paste the charts, I will have to create a slide. So this is going to create a slide. You can see here, very nice. This looks very beautiful, right? I hope that this is, I mean, I really love, you know, I thoroughly enjoy working with these kind of automations, right, where you connect Excel with the another applications, and I hope you're also loving this. The presentation is added, the PowerPoint is open, and we got the slide added. Now what is the next thing we want to do? The next thing we want to do is we want to copy the chart. We want to copy the chart and we want to paste it, right? So the chart which we have created, if you select that chart, you would see that the chart name is chart 1, right? So we are going to define this here. So this is how you you know, we define it. So you are supposed to write here dim, give it any name. Let's say I'm gonna give this name called my chart. Okay, dim my chart as, then you're supposed to define it as chart object, and set my chart equals to, because it is already created, so you have to tell that this my chart is going to be equals to what, right? So I'm going to write here active sheet dot chart object. This is the line which you're supposed to write, and then you will write the chart name, which is chart space 1. Okay, now the next step is when this my chart is created here, okay, when this my chart will take this the chart 1 name, then obviously the next time what we want to do is we want to copy the chart. So I'm going to copy the chart, right? You can see here my chart is a variable which I have created, object. You can write whatever you want in the my chart. I mean, it's just object. I just chosen the name, but you can always write whatever you want to write here, right? So I'm going to copy this. The next step is to, after we get it copied, we would like to paste it. So I'm going to go back on my PowerPoint, which is PPT. You can see here that in this code, if I show you, this is the PowerPoint application which we created. So I'm saying that PowerPoint application should be activated now. And what is the next thing I want to do? So in the next thing, next time I want to get that pasted on that slide. So this is how you write. So I'm going to write here now the slide dot shapes, and the shape is 1. I'll tell you what is shape, and then you're going to basically going to paste it, but before you paste it, I guess first of all let us just run the code and let's see what is happening here. I think it would be, then it would make more sense. So let me just increase the height of this, right? Okay, let's go. All right, so PPT is visible now, PowerPoint is visible, presentation is added. The next line is going to add the layout, which is blank, and you can see the slide is added. So now the chart is copied. The PPT is already showing, so ppt.activate will not show any change, which is fine. It is already activated. Now the next thing which I want to do is that here in this slide I want to get that added, the chart which I have copied, right? So to do that, what we are going to do is we are going to write here this line p slide. Now remember what is p slide? P slide is the slide number 1 when you added it. So we have only one slide here, right? So that means if I refer this p slide anywhere, it is going to be equals to the slide number 1, right? Okay, so then what we are going to do is we are going to this paste it. So shapes, and in the shapes I'm going to write here the index number 1 dot paste special and space, and then what you want, which format like you want. Let's say bitmap is fine. Okay, so in that this p slide shape we would like to paste whatever we have copied. And now let us run the code and let us see how it is going to work. So now we're going to run this. So PowerPoint is activated, presentation is added, and now the slide is going to be added, the chart is copied. I'm back on my PPT, and this time they should paste the value. All right, there we go. You can see that the chart is pasted. Wonderful. So let's just see this. Let me press F5. F5 is the shortcut key which we use to run the slides in the PowerPoint, right? So this is the chart is created. Now I can also do one thing. I can increase its size, I can move it maybe a little on the top, all that stuff. So let me write the code here so that you can edit it. So what we're going to do is we are going to write here p slide. Now I'll tell you one thing, guys. Now you see the syntax which I'm writing here, like p slide dot shapes dot paste special, this comes with the practice, this comes with the experience. When you Google, when you read the books, these things automatically comes, right? You don't have to learn it. What you have to learn it is that what is when you're going to connect any application with the Excel. As I used a word called early binding, there is another technique called the late binding. So what are these techniques? And when you refer this, I told you that you need to go to the tools and the reference and you need to activate this. So why we are going to do that, So these are the things which you're supposed to know. These syntaxes you will get in the Google, like you're watching my channel, so from my channel you're learning this line, right, and you can use it. So there's no, I mean to say, a big thing that I'm writing this so I'm extremely very powerful, I'm very good in Excel. It is not that, to be very honest. You can get these syntaxes from the Google. There are 1,000 tons of the codes written there, but what you need to understand is that what is the object hierarchy when you work with the PowerPoint, how it works. Like for example, we created PowerPoint application first, then we got it presentation added, then we got slide added, you know, and I was telling you that the biggest object is the PowerPoint, and then after the PowerPoint the presentation object come, and then the slide, you know, and this is how we get to add them. If you want to make it visible, then what you need to do. So these are the things actually, right? Go ahead after this and watch these couple of the Outlook videos. If you haven't watched it, I showed you the playlist. You will really love them, love those videos, and it will further help you in understanding the object connection when you connect Excel with the another objects, right? So now there is a code which we need to write here, which can move this, which can increase the height of this. So this is what we are going to write, the shapes, and the shape is 1 because this is the shape number 1. So I'm going to say that from the top it should be, let's say 30, and I'm going to then the shape number 1 because I have just only one shape created, pasted here. So I'm also going to increase the height of it. So let's just make it maybe 200, and then we're going to make it pslide.shapes, and we're going to move it to the left also. From the left it should be, let's say 30. Let us see, I mean, you know, how the movement is going to happen. So I'm going to close this, don't save. So let us run this. I'm going to okay, let's just run, let me run it on the F8 mode only so that you can again see this. So there we go. Yeah, so now the chart is pasted, you can see, right? And now what is the next thing I want to do here is, let's just shrink this. Okay, now you see this will take it to the top. So I believe that before it goes to the top, let me cut this line. First of all, let us increase the height, and then we can, you know, further it will help us in deciding that how much we need to move it to the left and the right. So I will paste the line here. Okay, so now the height should increase. Let us see. You can see that height is increased, right? So if you further want this line, you know, further you want more height, you can further write here something maybe 300, 400, that depends. Now let's make it to the top. You can see that it has moved to the top, and from the left it should be 30. So I think 30 is not a good thing. Maybe we can do one thing. We can do this to 50 or maybe 60. Okay, and let me just rerun this code. So I'm going to not start this code again. I can drag it also. This is a new tip for you, just in case if you don't know. Not every time you have to run this, you know, F8 again and again. You can rerun the code also. So you just need to pull it up and then put it on the line, you know, stop it to the line which you want to execute. So now this line I'm again going to press F8, and this will move to the left. So again I think we need some more, so I'm going to add it to this 80. So let me just again pull it up. Okay, and now let's again run this F8. Again this is 80, so I am going to make it maybe 100, right? So anyways, I mean, I'm not going to waste time on this. This you can do. Everybody has their own priorities. So I was just actually, my motive was to explain you, you know, that how to increase the height and, you know, the shape, whatever you want to do with this PowerPoint, right? So let's quickly run this code in the F5 mode, or maybe we can create the button. Let's come here on this and insert the shape, any shape. So let's just create this button here and right click and go to the sign macro, and in the sign macro just click this, and now this should work. So let's just click here, and you can see that the chart is pasted in the PowerPoint, right? So this is the first step. This is the beginning towards this great series. I'm gonna upload so many things because I know, you know, in practical environment, obviously you would never like to make a program for just one, you know, chart, right? The challenge comes when you have a lot of charts. So in the next series, definitely I'm going to talk about that, where you have more than 3-4 charts and how to, you know, make the code. We'll go step by step, right? So this is the video number, end of the video number 183, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe and watch all those amazing videos on my playlist. You can see here that we have created a lot of playlists, like we have created on the text functions, indirect, or when you want to deal with the workbooks. This is entirely a VBA where you compile the data, so you get the files open and save them. Then you have a lot of things here, right? A lot of playlists are created for you, right? So I'll come up with the next video very soon. Till then, you take care of yourself, and as always, have a very happy learning. Thank you so much. Bye bye.